3. True Christmas Shopping Horror Stories. Christmas, a season of sparkling lights, warm gatherings, and endless shopping lists. But while most revel in the festive cheer, not everyone gets a holiday filled with joy. For some, Christmas shopping has turned into a bone-chilling nightmare they'll never forget. Today, we're diving into 3 unsettling true stories that prove the holiday rush can hide terrors far beyond the crowds. These tales will leave you watching your back next time you're out hunting for gifts. Let's begin. Our story starts like any typical holiday outing, a bustling department store teeming with frantic customers looking for the perfect gifts. For one lone shopper, the quest stretched into the late hours of the evening. They wandered the aisles under the flickering fluorescent lights, oblivious to how deserted the store had become. The clock struck 9, and a cheerful voice echoed overhead. "Attention shoppers, the store is now closing. Please proceed to the nearest exit." But our protagonist paid no attention, too focused on the glittering shelves of last-minute deals. Minutes ticked by. Without realizing it, they were the last customer in the store. Then came the sound, a loud asterisk, click asterisk, as the doors locked tight. Panic set in when they realized the employees had left for the night, forgetting someone remained behind. With no key, no phone, and no other way out, they found themselves trapped. At first, they treated the situation lightly, exploring the quiet aisles in hopes of finding an emergency exit. But as they walked, strange things began to happen. The overhead Christmas music warped, glitching and then slowing to a distorted hum. Shadowy reflections moved in the glass cabinet displays, even though no one else should have been there. Trying to shake off their mounting fear, they turned to retrace their steps. But the mannequins had shifted, their positions altered ever so slightly. A mannequin once frozen in a cheery pose stood now with its head turned toward them. Another seemed closer than before, its hollow plastic eyes staring through the dim light. Suddenly, faint footsteps echoed from the far end of the store. At first, they thought it could be security or an employee who had stayed behind, but the sound grew louder, more deliberate. They yelled out, "Hello? Is someone there?" But no one answered. Then the lights began to flicker. When they shut off completely, a faint silhouette appeared in the darkness. Its unnerving presence crept closer and closer. Heart racing, the shopper darted toward the entrance, fumbling with the locked doors. Behind them, a Christmas tree display collapsed with a thunderous crash, but they didn't dare look back. By some miracle, an exterior light flickered on just as the store's automated doors unlocked for the morning crew. They ran, tears streaming, lungs burning, feet pounding, straight into the cold dawn air. No one believed them when they recounted what had happened. Security footage showed nothing unusual, and the store employees insisted they'd done a full walkthrough before locking up. But the shopper never set foot in that store, or any store, again after dark. Sometimes the gifts we chase come at a cost. The next tale reminds us that some holiday treasures should be left where they're found. A young bargain hunter loved scouring flea markets during Christmas for unique vintage finds. One cold December morning, they stumbled upon a quaint stall filled with old keepsakes. Hidden among the clutter was a twinkling music box, a delicate wooden piece with painted snowflakes and a cherub perched on top. Intrigued, they wound the small key to hear the tune. A soothing holiday melody played, innocent and cheerful. "How much?" they asked. The stall-keeper hesitated before giving a price, glancing nervously at the box. As the shopper paid and started to leave, the vendor whispered softly, "Better keep it closed after dark." At first, the shopper dismissed the strange comment. They displayed the music box on their mantel at home, enjoying its cheerful aesthetic that complemented their holiday decor. But over the next few nights, things began to change. The first sign was subtle. The box would sometimes turn just slightly as if someone had nudged it. Then, it began playing on its own, its previously cheerful tune sounding slower and warped. They thought perhaps it was overwound or malfunctioning. That's when they decided to lock it away, placing it in a cupboard. But the disturbances worsened. At night, faint music drifted through the house, the melody distorted and mournful. Objects went missing, only to reappear in strange places. They'd wake to the sound of whispers in the dead of night, shadows flickering in the corners as though the room were never truly empty. In desperation, the shopper threw the music box in the trash, convinced they could end the nightmare. But the next morning it was back, pristine on the mantel as if it had never been gone. Their attempts to rid themselves of it failed time and time again. They burned it, buried it, even smashed it to pieces, but it always returned, each time more unharmed than before. One night, unable to endure the seemingly cursed object any longer, they buried it in the woods miles away and left town for good. Though they swore the music stopped the moment it was left behind, the memory of those events followed them wherever they went. Sometimes the best Christmas gifts are the ones you never bring home. Our final story takes us to a bustling shopping mall during the height of the holiday rush, a scene of joy and festive chaos. Among the twinkling lights and decorated trees stood the mall Santa, a kind soul who brought smiles to every child's face. This holiday tradition warmed the hearts of hundreds every year, until the year it turned dark. One chilly December evening, as families crowded around the North Pole setup, Santa Claus excused himself for a break. Witnesses said he left with his signature jolly laugh, promising to be back shortly, but he never returned. At first, the employees assumed he'd gone home early or felt unwell and failed to tell anyone. But when his belongings were found left untouched in the break room and his car remained parked overnight, worry quickly turned into fear. Rumors began to swirl about his disappearance. Shoppers whispered about sightings of a strange cloaked figure lurking near the holiday display that evening. One claim came from a child who said they saw a second Santa standing near the mall's entrance, motioning for their father to come closer. But when they blinked, the figure was gone. Over the following weeks, sinister clues emerged. Workers found torn red fabric near the mall's maintenance area, faintly dusted in snow. Others swore they could hear sleigh bells echoing through the empty mall long after closing time. Despite extensive searches and investigations, no trace of the mall Santa was ever found. Over the years, his story faded into the realm of bizarre holiday legends, but patrons swear his spirit lingers, especially on quiet December nights. Some claim to hear his faint ho, ho, ho resonating softly through the halls. Others speak of spotting a shadowy figure among the twinkling lights, disappearing the moment you pay too close attention. The next time you visit Santa, be sure to ask yourself, are they really who they seem to be? Christmas shopping can bring joy, excitement, and plenty of stress. But as these tales remind us, the holiday season can sometimes take a darker turn. Locked doors, cursed trinkets, and unexplained disappearances hide behind the facade of cheerful decorations and festive spirit. Which of these stories chilled you the most? And the next time you find yourself lost in the holiday rush, remember, something might be watching while you shop. Thank you for joining us on this eerie holiday journey. Be sure to subscribe for more tales that will keep you up at night. And until next time, happy holidays, if you can survive them.